Heyo everybody, Haku here, and I realized that in yesterday's reaction, I forgot to talk at all about us getting a release, not really date, but a release time frame window announced for season 2 of the Tower of God anime. So I'm just going to talk with you all for hopefully a short few minutes, just discuss the Tower of God anime, some thoughts going into season 2 and getting this date or time frame. We know that it's going to be July 2024, so summer season of next year. And in the little sort of teaser, they showed some panels from Workshop Battle, so it seems like we're going through Return of the Prince and Workshop Battle, and I think that's kind of a good thing, because Return of the Prince and Workshop Battle is kind of its own contained story before we get to Hell Train. Season 1 is its own contained story. Return of the Prince does this thing where each part of it, each little arc, introduces new characters, introduces new plot threads, and pushes forward and develops those characters and plot threads. And then they're all wrapped up in Workshop Battle. Workshop Battle's this big climax where everything just sort of settles itself, except for, like, of course, a few things that are brought up as sort of, you know, suspense to move us into the next section of the story. Then we go into Hell Train, then we go into Season 3, etc. So I'm going to try, for any of you who are anime-onlys who are somehow in this video, I'm not going to spoil anything. So it seems like we're going through Workshop Battle, and ideally to me, so I'm hoping we at least get 2 cores. 1 core would definitely be not enough whatsoever. It'd be even more rushed than Season 1. But 2 cores, I think it'd be fine. 2 cores, we'd go down from like 6 point something chapters per episode to like 4 point something chapters per episode, which would be much more manageable. If you're talking me, if you're talking ideal scenario, I highly doubt it's going to happen, but like 3 cores would be a dream for me. Just take the time, slow it down, and really just experience the journey of Tower of God. That would be the best for me. But I highly doubt that's going to happen, so I would definitely be happy with 2 core, a 2 core series. Or yeah, that would definitely make me feel a lot, you know, better about the pacing. When it comes to Season 1, I did a review on it a while ago, but it's been a while, and I've got to say that a lot of people, I feel like the hate for the anime is overblown. Like, I didn't like a lot of things about it, but in general, if you just look at it on its own, it's a perfectly fine anime. It's a perfectly good anime. The things that I didn't like mostly come from me being a hardcore Tower of God fan. So it comes from me being like, wow, they really should have done better there. And a big thing is me feeling like with a lot of the things they did, that they didn't really get Tower of God. And I feel like the opening song's great, but the opening visuals are a great, you know, representation of what I mean by those visuals in the story of Tower of God are kind of incongruent, where I'm just like, I don't feel like they really got the series that much. But I think the anime is perfectly fine. I enjoyed it for what it is. Don't think it's the best adaptation, but it was fine. The thing is, though, that I would say the anime itself is the 3rd best thing that we got out of the anime. I think there were 2 really, really huge positives that we got out of the Tower of God anime. First and foremost being all of the amazing new people it brought in. So going into Season 2, I think that's the thing to most look forward to. I'm going to watch and enjoy the anime, but I think the best part is all the new people that it can bring in. Because with Season 1, it brought in so many new people, both content creators and people who I see in my and other people's comments, people who I see on Twitter. It brought in a lot of really, really great people. And honestly, it happens so often where you're like, I'm a fan of this small niche thing, and then it blows up and it gets a larger fan base. And it brings in a lot of like toxic, not great people. But I feel like somehow Tower of God had the opposite effect. All these new people came in, and I feel like so many of them have been so great and so wonderful. I just feel like there's so many people that I wouldn't have gotten to meet in the online sense, so many people that I wouldn't have been able to talk to if not for the Tower of God anime. So I think for me and for a lot of people, the best thing is all the new people that it brought into the fan base. Great new people. In addition to that, the other great thing that the anime gave us is, for those of you who did come in with the anime, you probably don't know, or for some of you who have come in the few years since then, but around the time of the anime coming out, they went back and redid and fixed the official translation. And let me tell you, the official translation pre-anime is probably the worst translation of anything that I've ever read. The grammar was like nearly unreadable. It was not proper English whatsoever. Almost everything was misspelled all the time. It was kind of embarrassing. It was kind of embarrassing to tell people, read this story, it's great, but you're going to have to ignore the fact that the translation's barely legible, to be honest. So many things that were inconsistent. The translation was really, really, truly awful. And since then, it's improved so much. Since the anime, they went back and fixed so much. And on top of fixing so much, even now, with anything I read, there are people who are going to comment like, hey, this was a mistranslation this week. Hey, there was a little bit of a mistake, or maybe something is a little unclear. That's just something that I think with any translation is naturally going to happen, because I see it happen with like every translation. There's always going to be small mistakes. There's always going to be small, like, there's no good way to translate this kind of scenarios. So I feel like those are still there, but overall the translation is perfectly fine. It's perfectly great right now. So that's the second huge thing we've got. That's probably, obviously, since the translation's fine now, that's not going to happen again, but I'm excited for Season 2 to get the anime itself, but also for all the new people who might come into the Tower of God story, who might read the webtoon afterward, who might come into the community because of the second season. Just like what happened with the first season. So, as excited as I am for the anime itself, I think that just seeing the discussion surrounding the series after the second season of the anime is going to be what is like really exciting to me. But that's not to say that I'm not excited for it. I hope they improve. I hope they do better. I hope they pace it out better. Like I said, maybe 2 cores would be the way to go, especially if we get a split core. We get the first 12-13 episodes and then a break, then another 12-13 episodes, because I feel like that's often where I see the best quality coming out of new anime. So hopefully it's all right. At the very least, I think even if they maintain the quality of the first season, I think it's going to be perfectly fine, especially if they're able to pace it out a bit better. I just think that's one of the big problems with Season 1. But even then, they had to skim over some things, but I really didn't even hate Season 1's pacing that much. The biggest issue that I had were the changes. Again, I'm trying to stay spoiler-free for like future stuff for people, but for Season 1, some of the biggest issues I had were changes that they made for no reason. Like things like failing Levin early. I mean, I guess it's fine. Who cares that much? But if Levin came back into the story in the webtoon, then it's like, the anime kind of screwed themselves there. The same goes with Hong Chunhwa, who's, arguably even more important and has even more of a potential chance of showing back up. So, like, they could have screwed themselves there. Having, what was it, Dede Kancho pass to the end for no reason is, like, very strange. So, I just don't know why the anime made some of the changes that they did. But, I'm just going to be optimistic. I'm just going to, hope for the best and see what we end up with. This was a longer discussion than I intended, but yeah, I just wanted to let you all know that it was starting in July. Don't know yet if it's going to be 2 core, don't know yet if it's going to be a split core or not. There were people saying, oh, it's leaked, it's going to be a 3 core. I doubt that's true. I really doubt that's true. But if it is, that's exciting. That's incredibly good if it is. And I just wanted to also say that while I don't think the first season was the best, certainly not. I have a lot of like small nitpicky qualms with it, and just the general vibe of them really not getting the series. But at the same time, I am excited to see season 2 because I didn't think season 1 was bad by any means, and I think that the huge effects that season 1 had on the community were really great, and if those get like, repeated for season 2, that's amazing. Maybe the translation isn't getting any better, but maybe season 2 they'll decide to do something else really cool with Tower of God with the new like buzz surrounding it, and we'll get something cool out of that. But either way, gonna end this here. Thank you so much for watching. Like if you did like the video, comment down there to tell me what you thought of my thoughts, what your thoughts are for season 2 coming. No idea what, but if you want to talk about anything, comment down below. You can also follow on Twitter if you want, or you can, huge thank you as well. It totally left my mind. Thank you to Ariel Maestro on Twitter, who was the first one who tagged me when the news came out about it being announced and everything. It really is greatly appreciated. It really means a lot that you thought of me and everything when it comes to the announcement. So huge thank you to them. So yeah, if you want to follow there, if you want a link to the Discord server, it's free and open for anyone. If you want to help support the channel, help keep things going, it's patreon.com/Haku of the Tubes, or a link will be in the description, or you can hit or join down below to become a channel member. Shout out to people who are members and patrons already. Thank you to chosen regulars Evan Hawley, Magical Girls, FR Nono and Smeller Dog, Jerryton Student, David Langstaff, Slayer Candidates, SG and Stan Cedar, and Pure Element Pate Ardealo. Thank you all so much for your support, and thank you all so much for watching. Thank you, and I'll see you all next time.